Hello there, YouTube. How are you? My name is Roel Fortune, and I am about to show you how to do input and output in Proteus with Arduino. Basically, is about these two inputs. Well, it's all in Proteus. They explain it totally. So if you don't know exactly, just come here and click help. And in the help, they explain it to you what it is. Okay, it's a virtual it's a virtual terminal, and the most important thing is written here. So these two are important. They explain to you what RX is and what TX is. So there's both the receivers and transmitters, and then there's these two that are not important for us, the RTS and the CTS. So basically what we're going to use is these two, these two pins. So if you have an Arduino, and if you don't have an Arduino, you don't want to test a lot of stuff with Arduino. You could actually do a lot of it in Proteus, but libraries you gotta go out and look for libraries out there. Okay, so this is my circuit here. I today I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of time to show you the circuit, but if you have an Arduino, you have the zip code. You know, you can just go and get it. So let me show you what I'm doing here. I have a transistor here. It doesn't really matter what transistor because this is not an original transistor right there, but it just have to be a transistor with the node out. Okay, and then there's a diode. Kind of I just took a diode. Let me show you the properties of it. Yeah, so I just took any diode 30 from Proteus. Okay, if you're new to Proteus, well, you gotta try to look a video that I have on how to put thing in Proteus. It's basically you come to this icon here, component mode, and you go to P and you place all your stuff here. You can just check it out. This is all the things I have in my board right now. Okay, I'm not using this motor, so I was deciding what to use. Okay, so and this is the ground. To get the ground, you just have to come here to components, and you have it here. This one here, right here. You see, you get ground. You place a ground in here. To get power, you got to go to generator. You go to generator and you go to DC, and so you get a DC generator, and it's 12 volt. My DC generator, my current source is 12 volt because my motor is 12 volt also. Um, Basically you can change everything you want to change, So normal 12 volt. So that's it. Excuse me, guys. I just had a little sneeze and allergies. But so that's about it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. So let's go to the Arduino. So the Arduino, it doesn't look like a real Arduino that you see here because if you check it out, it's a lot different. A lot of things are different. So you have all the pin here. You see most of the pin are switch modulation pin. They need so that a lot of pin are switch modulation pin here. Here you have the TX pin and the RX pin. So that's what we're gonna look at just now in a later phase of this tutorial. So in your circuit, you connect the base of the transistor to the pin 9. This is where the signal is gonna go through, and then it's gonna send the signal to your motor. So this is kind of the switch that's working on it all. Okay, to send a signal to your switch, but it's a speed signal. It tells it how fast to go. So it's a switch modulation signal. It's a variable. It's like a resistance. This is working like a resistance, but it's kind of deciding how much speed you put to it. So that's that part. Next is thinking about how are we gonna this code. I mean, let me show you the code. It's just a code from the Arduino Zig code that I have. I didn't go ahead and write a code because it was not necessary. This code was already there. Okay, so basically what is happening here, they're putting a constant, and the constant is a pin mode 9. So motor pin. So it's calling the motor in, and motor is an int, so it's integer value. That's a whole number. Pin mode motor, it's making it the output, so it's sending a signal out. Serial dot begin, so it's giving the how it's gonna read serial IO, and that's the speed bytes per seconds. 9,600 bytes per second. So now that's the just the setup of the whole program. Now the void loop. Now the void loop is basically what they're doing here. They're void motor off. So the motor is off, and this is the function, right? The function of the motor. So the function motor. So here is just the function is going to void, and this is what it's going to do. So there are different types of functions here there we'll be using. So all these. Now you see these you can all use in different ways, but what we're using here is a serial speed. So the one we're going to use here is a serial speed. We're going to decide how the speed is going to turn with the serial port. Okay, so that's the IO. Now we see here um, serial. This is what the prompt is gonna send. Type value, speed, and then click send. Okay, click return. Um, so you're gonna look if serial is available, and if the serial is available, it's gonna take it and stuff. You can just read this code. I'm gonna slowly move down. So what you do is you just press the upload button, and you upload it to your to where to your board, but you won't have a board. So what you do is you go to file preferences, and then you go to compilation right here, and then this is where you're going to compile, right? You're going to compile the code. So you just compile it and don't upload it. See, so that's what you do. You compile it, and you don't upload anything. You just compile, and that's it. You're done. Okay, so when you finish compiling it, all you have to do is this. You see this hex right here, the last code that they make is the CPP hex. You copy it, and then you come back to Proteus, and that's it. Basically, you're gonna come back to Proteus, and you double click, and you go to program files. You see all this already here. Just you could open, select all, and then paste it, and then so you load it. I'm not gonna do all of it because I did it already, and basically, there's a lot to teach in this little time. So now this is your little prompter here, or yeah, you can see your serial port, your terminal, and I just gave it a name A, and this is the speed of the terminal. The bounce rate is rating. It has to be the same as the Arduino bounce rate, so it works. Okay, and so if you want to turn that on, you have to come here and you select one, and you connect it. So this is there. What you have to remember this. It's IO, right? So it sends a signal and it receives a signal. Now, in order to send a signal, it has to send a signal to the receiving part of the Arduino, and it has to receive a signal from the sending part of the Arduino. So that's the thought behind putting it reverse. Let me show you how I actually figured that out. And if you just have two virtual terminals, I'm going to show you. Just make two terminals that talk to each other. So this is term 1. You press OK, and then just type term 2. Term 2, and then you connect the receiving part to the that's basically what it is. You don't have to connect these two, but you can just connect them like this, so it doesn't do anything. So when you start now my Arduino board is program is still running here and stuff, so it might come in the way. So let me show you what happens when you do that. So you see, this is the Arduino one. It's telling me if you want to run, connect this and connect that, but that's not what I want to see. But anyways, what happens is that these two, this sends a message to that, and that sends a message to this. But the Arduino just ran, so that's the first one to go. Yeah, but that's not what I want to show you. So maybe I should just create a new file. But then it's gonna have to just save that. So I'm just gonna show you that later. Anyways, what it should have done, it should have opened two files, and I'll be able to show you that. Anyways, now, so first thing is happening. The Arduino have a code to say, type 2. You just saw that. And then this will tell us, okay, you told me to type 2 letters, well, I'm going to type it now. So this is what happens. What it has to be the result is that when you type a value of between 0 and 255, it should be able to turn your motor. And you see that? It just turned your motor real fast. I pressed 55, it turned, and that was it. See? So we're setting the speed. Then it went to 0. So what it does, it just goes in the loop. It does all it has to do, and it goes back to where it has to be. So it's setting the speed, it's turning, and then it goes back to its normal state. That's IO with Arduino. I mean, it's basic, and I hope you learned something. I hope you really appreciate that, and send a feedback or something. This is gonna be it's one of my first video. I will be pushing a lot more videos on this. So just ciao later.